Hi, welcome to our first holiday special. Holiday of the month is St. Patrick's Day, and being an American of Irish descent, it is one of my favorites, so I'm going to make our traditional meal, which is Guinness corned beef, baked cabbage with bacon and garlic, roasted root vegetables, and of course soda bread. So, get all this off to the side here. It's sinking, right? Okay, so we'll start with our corned beef. This is a corned beef, a normal, regular corned beef. This one came from Winco. It's just like this. It's about 4 pounds. Inside of this package, you have a piece of beef in a preserved brine and a spice packet. I don't know what this is. It goes in the garbage. Nowhere on the package does it tell you what's in that spice packet. So take your corned beef out of the package, wash it with cold water, stick it in a pan, and pour half of a Guinness over it. This one's been soaking about 45 minutes now. We turned it over after about 20 minutes, so it's nice and absorbing on each side. So now I'm just going to take some brown sugar by the handful, just like this. And I'm going to put it on the top. A little chunky bit in there. I'll get my hand in the Guinness, pat it all over. I want to make goop. Tasty little goop. And what this is going to do in the oven is it's going to candy and caramelize and soak down into that beef. Alright. Now I'm going to put this into a 350-degree oven. And in about 20 minutes, maybe 30, I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to put brown sugar on the other side. And we're going to do this whole meal in the oven at the same time. Do it. The timing's right, it all comes out at the same time. So next we're going to do our vegetables. Sorry. You jump. I'm just going to spray this pan. Now, these vegetables don't all cook at the same time. This is a rutabaga. Kind of an ugly looking thing, but they're pretty tasty. And then we've got a couple of turnips. Smaller ones are better. When they get big, they get woody. 2 Yukon Gold potatoes, 2 red potatoes. And then I have some carrots. There's 4 carrots. And we've got the fancy multicolored carrots for a little splash. This is a parsnip. It looks like a carrot. It's got a little more of a bite to it. So as far as cooking goes, we're going to start with these. They take longer. Peel. All the peel off of this. Underneath all these vegetables are just sort of yellowish. Alright. these. Nope. We don't want the root part. Although it's not really the root part. This is the root part. This is the part that comes up out of the ground and has the greens on it. And what we want most while we're cutting these is relatively uniform bite sizes. Cut that part off, and that part. Cut it like this. When they're uniform size, they cook about the same time. Okay. These in our pan that we sprayed. Alright, these are hard. They're very tasty. And here we have nice bite-sized vegetables. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is spray these with non-stick spray. And I'm going to do that so that something sticks to it. Just canola oil spray. Now I'm going to sprinkle this with my super secret blend of spices. This is garlic powder, onion powder, and Johnny seasoning salt. That's it. I'm going to put these in the oven for about 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, I'm going to add my potatoes that have been cut in about that bite size, but not peeled. Potatoes should have their peel left. And then about 15 minutes after that, I'm going to add the carrots. Carrots cook up super quick, and we don't want them mushy. So now I'm going to set a timer.
question was asked, why you not use garlic? I said the garlic comes in later.
There's garlic powder. It's more of the powder with the seasoned salt makes a coating, almost a crusty type thing on a roasted vegetable. Don't you worry, there's garlic coming. Okay. Next, we're going to do our soda bread. Oh, I set my timer. I've already made soda bread in this bowl once tonight. So I have here 3 cups of all-purpose flour, to which I am going to add the secret ingredient of soda bread, which is baking soda. Half a teaspoon, that's the only leavening. And 2 tablespoons of plain white sugar. And a half a cup of raisins. You can add, not a half a cup. Instead of raisins, you can add currants. If you are a traditionalist, you will add caraway seed. That is one of the more traditional flavors in soda bread is caraway seed. You would add that here, a teaspoon or 2. Don't get carried away, it's a very strong flavor. I don't care for caraway seed. I'm not going to put it in here. I'm just going to mix this up and get the raisins broken up because raisins are sticky. And that's why you put them in at this stage. You get them put in there with the flour coats them, and you get a nice even distribution of raisins in your bread. Alright, now we're going to put in here 2 tablespoons of butter, which I'm going to melt. 1 egg. Which I'm going to whisk up with a fork.
What kind of flour is it?
This is just unbleached white flour. You can use whole wheat. If you use whole wheat, only use half whole wheat and half white so that it doesn't get too heavy. You can use rice flour, but if you use rice flour, you want to use xanthan gum or gluten substitute. Okay, so check my butter. 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 1 egg, and 1 cup of full fat buttermilk. If you do not have buttermilk, you can make buttermilk. You can take 1 cup of whole milk and take a tablespoon of that milk and dump it down the sink and replace it with a tablespoon of vinegar. Let that sit for about 10 minutes until the vinegar starts to curdle the milk. Then stir it and use it for buttermilk.
Is there potential you could use potato flour?
Oh yeah, this would be good with potato flour, but again, like the whole wheat flour, you're going to use half potato flour and half white flour, or substitute. Potato flour has really got the potential to be glutinous. So. And a little bit of, this would be good with potato flour, like spud nuts. All right, now I'm just going to whip this up with a fork. What we're doing right now is just trying to get the flour into the liquid. Okay. There's that. Now I'm going to keep mixing until all the flour's in there, but I'm going to try not to over mix it, because that makes it tough, and tough bread is chewy, and bread should not be chewy. All right. Get all my raisins worked back in there. I'm going to take this out. Get the last of the flour worked in. And that's it. When it starts coming off your hand and sticking to itself, it's done. This gets cooked in cast iron. Sprayed my cast iron pan with my nonstick. And I'm just going to, this pan is bigger than this loaf. It's not going to take up the whole thing. Just like that. That goes in the oven for 40 to 45 minutes at 350 degrees. Everything cooks at 350 degrees, so it can all be in there together. No problem. You want this on your top shelf. So I put my vegetables on the bottom shelf, and I have my corned beef on the top shelf next to that. All right. And finally, our cabbage. This is half of a regular run-of-the-mill cabbage. I usually make this meal for 20 people, so scaling it down was my biggest challenge. I'm going to take the big outer leaf off, and I'm going to cut any other brown bits off. Now, I'm going to melt some more butter. This quantity of butter is 4 tablespoons-ish. The quantity you should use is some, whatever you like. Cut this in half, so now I have quarters. In each of these quarters is a piece of foil big enough to be wrapped in. Over here, I have bacon. This is 4 slices of turkey bacon. You can use any bacon you like. Actually, that goes last. My bad. All right. First, we need our butter, which we're just going to drizzle in those cracks. That nice and covered. This is going to take 15-20 minutes to bake, so put it in right at the end. Now we're going to take a quantity of garlic, known as some, and we're going to rub that on there. Told you there'd be garlic. All right. Now, the bacon. Along each side. Wrap it up like that. And set that off to the side until it's ready to go in the oven. Like I said, it's right at the end. Cabbage cooks quickly. Now, if you read that corned beef packet, it tells you that you should boil that thing for an hour, followed by adding potatoes and boiling it for another half hour, followed by, at the end, topping it off with some cabbage and boiling it till it's nice and mushy. That's why I came up with this. I don't like gray meat. I don't like gray potatoes. All right. That was our vegetables. I'm just going to set this up here. I'm going to bring the potatoes to this. Stir with a wooden spoon. Now, I'm going to spray it again. And I'm going to sprinkle it again. And I'm going to do spray and sprinkle after the carrots too. So you're going to go 15, 20 more minutes. All right, and back into the oven. It's been about 20 minutes. Look at that corned beef. All right. I'm going to turn this over and do the other side. Keep in mind, it's 350 degrees inside of that oven. A couple handfuls of your brown sugar. Sprinkle over. Spread it gently. Now, this goes back into the oven until the meat thermometer reads 150 degrees. In the thickest part of your meat. So already we're at 104 degrees. So that's going to be in there another 20 or 30 minutes. So in 15 minutes, when the timer goes off again and you add your carrots, you put your cabbage in. Come over here, peel carrots and parsnips. Put your cabbage in. Have everything cooked for the last 15-20 minutes. Your bread will come out last because it's going to need 40 to 45 minutes. Now, I already cut this bread. I don't know if it'll do it. It should look like this on the bottom. Beautiful golden brown, even color. When it's in the oven, you should be able to go and hear a hollow thump. Then you know that it's nice and even in here. You don't want it too thick on the bottom. And you serve your bread with some clotted cream or some nice Kerrygold butter, which is delicious stuff. Now, when you're cutting your carrots, take that last little bit off. It's just too tiny and small and will cook too fast and get mushy. Okay, so you get the gist. This is it. I have carrots to peel and another parsnip. And in 15 minutes, I will add that and the cabbage. And about 15 minutes after that, everything will be done. When you first take the meat out of the oven, take it out of the pan right away and put it on your serving dish. And tent it, which means put a bit of foil over it, not too tightly. That's going to pull the juices back into the meat so that they come out when you cut the meat and not just slobber all over the plate. Now this stuff, you can make sandwiches out of it. See, it's got this, cut all the way through. Beautiful, sweet candy crust on it, which is soaked nicely into the meat, and it just is so yummy. And you can see it's not gray. That's the important part. So, this is our Irish American meal. We say Irish American because St. Patrick's Day is a very American holiday. They hardly celebrate it at all in Ireland. And corned beef is pretty American as well. So, but it's our traditional holiday meal and it's just delicious. And I really hope you guys will make it and enjoy it. Thanks for joining us tonight.